Hello everyone, my name is Elaine. Welcome to another coaching video series. Napaka-timely po ng ating topic ngayon because it's all about building an emergency fund effectively. Within this 20-minute session, sasagutin po natin ang tatlong katanungan. Unang tanong, ano nga bang ibig sabihin ng emergency fund? Pangalawa, bakit nga ba mahalaga ang pagkakaroon nito? At pangatlo, paano ba natin buuin yung emergency fund natin? First question, what is an emergency fund? Emergency fund is a cash reserve or yung perang nilalaan natin to cover for any unforeseen or unexpected circumstances na posibleng magdudulot ng financial struggle. Hindi po natin alam no kung kailan mangyayari yung mga emergencies, but alam po natin na mangyayari sila. It could happen anytime sooner or it could happen anytime later. In fact, the COVID situation that we are in right now is an actual proof that even the worst emergencies could actually happen globally. Any emergency could happen to us individually, to our family, to our community, or to the entire nation. So we have to be prepared. We may not be totally prepared or fully prepared, but at least we have to be financially prepared. Otherwise, kung hindi po tayo handa, magkakaroon talaga ng financial drain. So ano ba yung mga halimbawa ng mga cases kung saan maituring nating emergency at kailangan nating gamitin yung emergency fund natin? So very basic example is a loss of job or income. No, naranasan ko na rin po mawala ng trabaho 2 years ago because of technological advancement or yung tinatawag natin na automation. So, yung kumpanya nagbawas ng mga working staff kasi meron ng automated system na siyang gumagawa ng mga trabaho namin. And I did not see that coming because I was a supervisor during that time and I had already served the company for 6 years. Pero nawalan pa rin ako ng trabaho. So, good news was I was already a member of IMG at natuturuan na po tayo kung paano i-build yung emergency fund natin. So when I lost my job, I had around 4 months worth of emergency fund. So hindi siya ganun kalaki, pero nakatulong po talaga siya habang wala po akong trabaho. Right now, we are faced with a much bigger challenge because this pandemic does not exempt anyone. Mayaman ka man or mahirap, posible kang tamaan. Literally speaking, small businesses, uh, big businesses are closing, operations are shutting, malaki man yung sahod mo or maliit man yung sahod mo, you can lose your job in a snap. Now, reportedly, there were around 10,000 seafarers who were sent home, and unfortunately, my brother is one of them. Kasi nga wala ng operasyon. Some other companies advise their employees to go on forced leave without pay, while others were on skeletal system. So, bawas yung araw ng pagtatrabaho nila, bawas din yung sahod nila. While others were granted paid leave. So, if you are part of the third category, then be grateful because not everyone is a privilege to stay at home and still be able to feed their family. All right, another example would be medical emergency. So pag may medical emergency, kailangan talaga ng emergency fund. Especially nowadays, our elderlies are more prone to getting infected. Hindi naman exempted yung mga bata, but they are more prone to getting infected. So iba yung pag-iingat po ang kailangan natin. We need to protect them and shield them at home and provide their basic needs or medicine if they have medication para po hindi na po sila lalabas. Another example would be home fixes or home repairs. Now, if you have observed, currently there have been a lot of calamities worldwide. Sunod-sunod po yun. So when Taal erupted, napakarami pong bahay at ari-arian ang mga nasisira. At kailangan po natin ng emergency fund para maipatayo po sila. Otherwise, kung wala po tayong emergency fund, aasa po tayo sa tulong ng gobyerno na kung alam naman natin, pahirapan po yung kunin. Alright, and the list goes on. Napakarami pong halimbawa. But let's just have 3 for now. Now that we understand what an emergency fund is and kung saan natin sila ginagamit, it's also important to identify kung ano yung mga cases na kung saan hindi natin sila i-consider na emergency and therefore we should not be using our emergency fund. Halimbawa, yung pagbubuntis or pagpapaaral ng mga anak. Kasi kung nakabuntis po tayo or nabuntis po natin si Mrs., it is expected that around 9 months, manganganak po siya. And in 5 to 6 years or less, papaaralin po natin yung bata. So if we have an emergency fund, wag po natin gamitin yung emergency fund natin for this case. No, kailangan natin sila pag-ipunin sa ibang paraan. Kasal, debut, at kung ano pang mga okasyon, hindi po sila emergency because we know that they happen isang beses sa isang taon. So kung gusto nating magkaroon ng handa, again, paghahandaan rin po natin sila sa ibang paraan. Sale, crazy sale, midnight sale are definitely not emergencies kasi buong taon naman po tayo nagkakaroon ng sale. So kahit midnight sale pa yan, huwag po kayong mag-alala kasi bukas makalawa, merong another midnight sale sa ibang malls. Alright? So there are 3 questions that we need to ask ourselves for us to identify whether or not the case is emergency. Is it unexpected? Kung hindi siya unexpected, that is not emergency. Is it necessary? If that is not necessary, then that is not an emergency. And is it urgent? If it is not urgent, then that is not an emergency. Second question, why is emergency fund important? So ito, madali na lang itong sagutin, no? Kasi alam na natin ang ibig sabihin ng emergency fund at kung saan natin sila ginagamit. So emergency fund is indeed very important because it helps us sustain our daily needs while there is an emergency. Therefore, it keeps us sane. So hindi po tayo dali-daling naloloka or nagpapanik or hindi po tayo masyadong maraming reklamo kasi nahihirapan na po tayo while there is an emergency. In these very difficult times, our behavior could sometimes be a reflection of our financial standing or the financial decisions that we made in the past for other probable reasons. So kung nahihirapan tayo, now that there is an emergency kasi wala tayong emergency fund, that is because we did not choose to build it up nung hindi pa dumating yung emergency. So we've been on a lockdown for more than a month and we don't know exactly as to how long this will go on. So wala po tayong sahod, wala po tayong emergency fund. Ang nangyayari, nag-aalburuto po tayo sa gobyerno. So yun po yung naging behavior natin. And this is in a way reminding us that it's not really the government or the company either that should take charge of us, of ourselves. No, secondary na lang po sana sila. The primary person responsible is nobody but our own selves. So hopefully when this crisis is over, gawin na po natin yung mga bagay na hindi natin nagawa ng tama, learning from our experiences. Okay? All right, third question, how to build an emergency fund. So if you have been attending our classes, you must be familiar with our solid financial foundation, the blue one here. We were taught that for us to build a solid financial foundation, we have to build it from the ground up in order of priority. So we have to start from healthcare, protection, debt management, emergency fund, and investment. So there will be separate classes for each of these blocks. So kindly tune in para mas maintindihan po natin, no? But for today, we are going to focus on emergency fund. So pag na-secure na natin yung healthcare natin, meron na rin tayong protection, at dahan-dahan na nating namamanage yung mga utang natin, pwede na nating simulan yung emergency fund natin. Or we can actually do it all at once. Pwede naman silang sabayin kung kaya natin. So we are going to have 5 basic tips on how to build our emergency fund. These are very basics, and this can be doable even for starters. So of course we have to set goals. Our goals have to be smart. Our end goal here is to establish or build an emergency fund that is worth 3 to 6 months of our income. So bakit nga ba 3 to 6 months? That is actually generally recommended kasi it is safe to say that within this time frame, nabigyan na natin ng solusyon yung emergency case natin. Say for example, yung emergency case natin is nawalan tayo ng trabaho, pwede naman tayong makahanap ng trabaho in a day or in a week. Pero if hindi pa talaga tayo makahanap kaagad-agad ng trabaho, for whatever reason, like our case right now, we are on a lockdown, so there's a very limited opportunity. So yung 3 to 6 months could actually back us up until such time that we can find a job. Second is it is also very important to note that saving for emergency fund has to be considered as a treat. No, para naman masaya siyang gawin. Hindi yung parang pakiramdam natin, pinaparusahan natin yung mga sarili natin kasi napakahirap pong mag-ipon or dinedeprive natin yung sarili natin. Yung pag-iipon po ay isang halimbawa ng pagpapahalaga sa sarili at sa mga taong mahal po natin. So, dapat masaya po tayo pag nakaipon po tayo. So, para makapagsimula po tayo, let's just set a low target. Let's say, for example, my target is 2,000. Depende yun sa'yo, no? Wala namang fixed requirement as to how much. Just ask yourself, tanong mo lang sa sarili mo, magkano ba ang kaya mong ipunin in a month? Or magkano ba ang gusto mong ibigay sa sarili mo? Kung marami kang income, mataas yung income mo, or meron kang extra source of income, pwede mo namang taasan, like 3K, 4K, 5K, whatever is low for you. At kung mataas na yung 2K, pwede rin iset mo as 1K. And to make it even look smaller, you can break it down to weekly or daily basis. For example, weekly of 2,000 is 500. So parang maliit na siyang tignan. At kung gusto mo pang paliitin, gawin mong daily, that's 66 pesos a day. So siguro naman napakaliit na po ng 66 pesos. So maliit siyang tignan, pero the outcome is actually the same. At the end of the month, that is still 2K. So nami-meet pa rin natin yung target natin. So this is just really a psychological trick kasi binibuild up pa natin yung habit natin to save. So we can do it this way until such time na consistent na po tayo sa ating pag-iipon. And secondly, we have to put it in liquid. So ano bang ibig sabihin nun? Ibig sabihin that our money should be readily accessible. Huwag po natin silang ilagay sa mga investment tools na mahihirapan po tayong kunin sila should emergency strike. Kasi nga, this is for emergency. Very basic example as to where you put our money or where we put our money is a bank savings or checking account na walang ATM card if pwede. Just to avoid temptation or syempre nagsisimula pa tayo and makati yung kamay natin minsan. So, importante na yung walang ATM card kung pwede para ma-reinforce talaga yung savings. And we can also create a separate account for our emergency fund para untouchable siya. And if you are capable, you can set an automatic transfer from your payroll account to your emergency fund. Again, para ma-reinforce natin yung savings. If hindi naman pwede, if hindi tayo capable, then pwede na lang natin siyang imano-mano. So do our weekly or daily target, and then at the end of the month, if na-meet na natin yung monthly target natin, then lagay natin sila sa ating savings account. Create multiple income streams. So, meron namang mga simpleng paraan para magkaroon tayo ng dagdag na kita. So, bakit ba mahalaga ang pagkakaroon ng multiple income streams? Because the more income we have, the faster we can build our emergency fund. So, this is what we call cash quadrant. This is developed by Robert Kiyosaki. It is teaching us different ways to earn or 4 ways to earn extra income. So if we are employed, meaning to say we have a job, then dadagdagan na lang po natin yung kita natin. Pwede din naman tayong maging self-employed. Doctors, engineers na walang company or walang boss, they are actually self-employed. Pero hindi naman kailangan maging professional. Pwede naman tayong kumita kahit meron lang tayong mga special skills. Let's say for example, napaka-husay po nating magsalita. So pwede naman natin yung ima-market for hosting. So it can earn us 5K to 20K or more. Depende yun sa experience mo or depende sa laki ng event, let's say corporate event. Or napakaganda po ng bosses natin. Pwede naman tayong mag-perform sa mga gig or sa mga special occasions. So, pera din yun, di ba? And another thing is, pwede rin po tayong magnegosyo. Yung mga simple lang po. Yung kaya nating gawin kaagad-agad. So, instead of us being the buyer, we can be the seller. For example, online selling. Napaka-trendy po ng online selling because we are now in an online era. So go to Shopee or Lazada, just create an account. It's very simple. And once you have created your account, you can already start posting your products. So if you love baking, sell your goodies. If you are good with handcraft, sell your creative products. And of course, we can also do IMG business. Napakarami na po natulungan ni IMG. And IMG's system is very established. You just have to run the system and the system will run your business. In fact, the platform of IMG is a very ideal platform in creating extra cash flow. And finally, we can be an investor. So pag marami na tayong extra income because of our employment, self-employment, and business ownership, part of our income, we can put it to our emergency funding. And if meron pa tayong natira, we can also invest part of the money to some legit investment tools so that we can also earn interest income. So there will be separate classes. I will have another class for these options, and of course we will also have a separate class that will specifically talk about IMG business. All right. Fourth is cut down unnecessary expenses. So small changes equals to big savings. These are my personal consumptions that I have cut because it allows me to save money. Let's say, for example, soft drinks. I usually buy bottled water or bottled soft drinks in one meal because I usually go to the field for appointment, and I realized 2 bottles a day for 15 pesos each is already 30 pesos a day. That's 900 monthly pag inaaraw-araw ko siyang gawin, and that's 10,800 annual. All right? So I just bring my tumbler, nagbabaon na po ako ng tubig, at hindi na po ako umiinom or just very rarely umiinom po ako ng soft drinks. So that's a very win-win situation because it's healthier for me at the same time. Coffee. So I really love coffee because I used to work in a graveyard shift for like 10 or 11 years. So sometimes I splurge. I go to coffee shop, buy my cup of coffee. That's around 150, or that's more or less 150. So if I take 2 cups a week, that's already 300 pesos. That's 1,200 monthly, and that's 14,400 annual. So pera rin yun, di ba? I don't smoke, but just in case you decide to stop smoking, let's say if the pack is 80 pesos and you take 2 packs a day, meron nga akong kakilala, he takes 3 to 4 packs a day. So kahit 2 pack lang ititigil mo, that's 4,800 and that's 57,600 annual. Lotto tickets, that's 20 pesos per day. If you buy 2 in a day, that's 1,200 monthly. And that's 14,400 annual. Extra phone bill, this is mine and I'm going to cut this by August because I cannot pre-terminate my contract. So if I will cut this, I will be saving 5,988 a month. So hindi siya ganun kalaki pero wala namang magbibigay sa atin ng 6,000. So little amount of money, if they are compounded, they actually become big. So let's say for example, I cut one of of these items or these expenses. For example, hindi na ako nanigarilyo. Kung nanigarilyo man ako, that's 57,600. So if my income is 20,000, and for me to build my emergency fund, I need at least to have 3 months worth my income. So that's 60,000. So kung magkakat ako ng cigarette, 57,000. So I only need a small amount para maabot ko yung goal ko. And if for example, ikakat ko rin yung bottled water ko or yung soft drinks ko, that's 10,800. So napakarami ko pong pwedeng gawin or ikakat para magkaroon po ako ng ipon or para ma-build ko po yung emergency fund ko. Alright? And lastly, if na-develop na po yung habit natin, saving habit natin at nakakita na rin po tayo ng mga extra sources of income, and at the same time, we are already wise in our spending, nagka-cut down na tayo ng mga expenses, then we can already reset or upgrade our goals. So from 3 to 6 months, we can set 7 to 12 months worth of income. Kasi mas malaki, mas mabuti, mas matibay yon. And from 2K, we can set higher target to 4K. If mas marami pa yung extra income nyo, you can set it to 6K, 8K, 10K. It's up to you. And then from weekly to daily basis, we can now set it to monthly basis. Kasi po, consistent na naman tayo. Alright, so this ends my session. I hope that you are learning something about our coaching video, and it is very important that you also apply this, because knowledge without application is of no use. Alright, so see you to our next session, guys, and thank you very much for attending.